Okay, cool. We're recording. Hi, hello, welcome back to Nintendo Vlogs. I'm Sarah. First and foremost, I have my hair in buns. I put my hair down for like 2 seconds so that I could fix it, and my shirt got wet, so that's always fun. I do want to say, if you watched my last video on my finances, I know it was a short one and I was kind of all over the place with it. Editing it was a nightmare because I was jumping back and forth so much. I got confused on where I was at. But if you did watch it, thank you so much. It was really hard. Not hard. It was kind of difficult to record just because my finances have always been something I've been like kind of tight-chested with. So just kind of letting it out and putting it out there was really helpful for me, just to remind myself of like what I'm working towards right now and where I'm wanting to be in my life. So just having that opportunity to like sit there and talk about it was really it was really healing for me, I guess. So thank you so much for watching it, and let's get into it. In this episode, I want it to be a little bit different. I mean, all my stuff has been kind of everywhere. I think obviously I've talked about it, and this podcast to me is something more of like, so people don't feel alone, like whatever else I've said. I know I've said I want it to be like a journal, but I think first and foremost, like I just want to show that I'm there for people so that they know like they're not alone, because I felt pretty alone the last couple of weeks, and we're going to get into it. But I just want people to feel like they're not alone so that we all can have like a little community, you know? I want to talk about like the challenges of changing careers, losing and gaining time, and just how my life has changed so much in the last month alone. And we'll just kind of go from there, We'll see how it goes. So while I was writing this, I had actually gotten certified for my job yesterday, which was Tuesday. I had to take a test for it that I didn't study for, but the job was basically the test. I passed, and I cried a little bit, and I was so excited. I've honestly been struggling a lot the last couple weeks with this job, just because I haven't really worked with kids. When I started this job, it had been 6 years since I last worked with kids. I worked with kids when I was younger. I hadn't worked with them in a while, and this job is working with kids, so it was a lot different from what I was doing, which was working retail and fast food, technically both. But it's just a completely different change of pace. Like, I work 8 hours 5 days a week, which I have never done before in my life, which was really hard. The most I worked 8-hour shifts was maybe like 2 or 3 times a week, and that was really difficult. It was just like a hard transition. Like, I was so excited. I mentioned it so many times before, I'm very ambitious, so I was very excited to like just start and do the job. And once I got to the job, I was like, oh, this is so hard, because like I love talking to people. I like to talk to people, but it's like talking to kids, which is a lot different than what I'm like crying thinking about this. Oh my god, it's just a lot different than what I was expecting, which not a bad thing. And I'm not gonna, I'm gonna like write out the year and see how it goes and reassess and readjust and everything, and just go from there. But why am I crying about this? Oh my god. I'm also like on my period, so that has a lot to do with it. Oh my god, I was struggling with this bad. Yikes. Not me crying on my podcast. I'm not crying because I'm stuck to kids. It's different. It's just really different. And like my schedule's very different from my friends, and I'm terrible at keeping in contact with people in general. So, like I have no time already. So like the only person I really talk to is like my boyfriend or my mom, and that's kind of it. I just feel like I don't have a lot of people anymore, which is kind of crazy. I'm okay. I don't talk to the same people I did. Again, like it's just I don't have the same schedule. Like I don't want to do anything if it's not like Friday or Saturday. And those days I kind of like reserve for my boyfriend anyway. So just finding time to hang out with my friends has been really difficult. Not saying that like I won't hang out with friends. Like I hung out with friends last weekend, and honestly, like it was people from work, so I was really excited to hang out with people from work, because like I felt like I wasn't really connecting with anybody there. Oh, this is crazy. Between like just lack of energy, or just hard time talking to people, or having different schedules than my friends, I just feel like I haven't been interested or like anything to talk to anybody, which is not anybody's fault. I also had a hard time with just learning new skills. Like I'm young enough to where it's not a big issue. However, I have a lot of pride. I'm very stubborn. I don't like to admit when I'm doing something wrong. But I don't like criticism. I also like don't want to say I don't do well with it, but I internalize it really heavily. So like when I start like feeling like I'm getting criticized really heavily, I tend to take it kind of personal. So I like will just correct to a point where it's just like, okay, we didn't have to go that far. Or like I'll correct but just like internalize the fact that I did something wrong and just kind of beat myself up for that. In training I did pretty well. And in my job I've done pretty well. Like I haven't had any major like, hey, don't do that. It's just more of like a hey, like let's try to do it this way so that you get a better outcome, which is fine. But I still kinda like struggle with like that kind of stuff. I don't like to admit when I'm wrong or if I need help or something, so I think from what I've heard, I've been doing really well. I don't feel like I'm doing. I kind of just feel like I'm not doing like my best, and this is kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. Sorry, Sarah, when you're editing. I had a hard time a couple weeks ago. I think it was last week actually. I like had like 2 panic attacks. I was going through it. I didn't feel good at my job, and I felt like I wasn't making friends. I just kind of felt that I was just kind of out of my comfort zone, I guess, like with this. And I know I was really excited. Like if you go back like 2 episodes ago, I was so excited to start and like just kind of like go forward, and now I'm like crying about it. But it's not even like upset tears, and like I wasn't gonna quit. I think I have a lot of other stuff in my mind. I've also been trying to find a good schedule, like a good balance for like how I should kind of go about doing things that I want to do. Like for example, going to the gym is a big thing I've been wanting to do, and I've been pretty good about it. I haven't like just a method I can follow once I have a car. I'm used to like being able to sleep in until like 8 or 9, and then go about my day, or like go to sleep at 1, so at 10 and still be up till like midnight. It's kind of crazy. That's all the stuff I've been struggling with. Like I swear, like it sounds like a lot, but I think I just need therapy. Going off with the pros, I have weekends off, which is really nice. Like I said, like I've been spending majority of them with my boyfriend, but I went to the farmer's market a couple weeks ago and I really had fun, or I went hiking with my friends, which I think I need to get an inhaler. It's only 2 days and I thought I'd enjoy it more, but I think I'm so like accustomed to like 3 days off, if that, or like having half days, that I kind of do miss it. I didn't think I was going to miss it as much as I do, but I do enjoy like weekends off. Like I don't have to deal with people on weekends, and as once I get into a better routine of things, I think I will enjoy it a lot more. But right now I'm just kind of like cruising through and just riding against the wave rather than going with the flow. I am making friends, contrary to what just happened. I am making friends. Girls at work have been super, super sweet to me. I cannot thank them enough. I had such a good time with them last weekend. I really needed to like spend time with people from work, so I can enjoy some time with like adults, grown-ups. I think dealing with kids, you kind of start acting like them, and then you only see the same 3 people outside of work, so you just kind of go into yourself. But being with adults and like hanging out and doing adult things, like I was like, oh wait, I'm actually an adult. I can act my age again. That was really nice to just kind of like spend time with people and like enjoy company and just be in the moment. Like it's been so long since I like enjoyed a night out that I had such a great time. It was fun. I had a good time. It is a rewarding job what I'm doing. I don't want to like get into it too much. I don't want to like talk about it too much, but it is such like a rewarding thing to see, like when your work is paying off and the kids you're working with. It is a good feeling. I know that wasn't a lot of pros or anything, but as much as I just like freaked out about it, like I am enjoying my job. I think it is really rewarding. I had a couple like breakthrough moments the last couple of days, and it has been so like, oh, this is what we're working for. Or I saw one girl like kind of graduate out of the program I'm working for, and she like, it was just kind of like watching everybody like be like crying about it, like happy tears obviously, to see like her like move on and that their work was paying off. Like I'm gonna have to go through that soon probably, and I'm not ready for it, but I'm excited to see what that feels like, just because you work so hard with these kids like day in and day out, and like you have your rough days. Like I had so many rough days. Like once I started doing the job, I was like, oh, this is not for me. But I think it also kind of goes into play with like the good days where you're able to like have those breakthrough moments, or like, it is a rewarding job. It is, despite like the isolation you kind of have to go into when you're working with the kids. It is such a rewarding job to kind of like see your work paying off essentially. As far as what I'm learning from this job, I don't know if I can like continue my education this way, just because I feel like, yes, I'm more of a one-on-one person, but also like a one-on-one person in like the setting I'm in is so overstimulating for me that I mean, I'm sure I'll get used to it. Like, it's only been like a month, but I still feel like I get overwhelmed really easily, and it's just, I feel like there's just a lot, like there's a lot I have to focus on, and I'd rather just do like a sit down type of what I'm doing with like a little kids that are a little bit older. Kind of want it's like a more sit down, like one-on-one setting, rather than like a we're just kind of focusing on whatever it is we can in the moment, or like trying to find time to do the things we need to do. I can do it. I'm not saying I can't do it. I just don't feel like that's the line of work I want to do for the rest of my life. But for right now, I think it's a good spot for me to be in. I just want to make it clear, like it's not that I think I can't do it. I know I can do it. I'm doing it right now. Like, it's very obvious I can do it. However, I just feel like that's just not what fits for me for the rest of my life. It's like that's the whole point of getting a degree, and like getting out of my old job was to do something like this so I can figure out what I want to do. That's the whole point of like growing up, essentially. I think that's everything I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to cry on camera. If I'm being honest, I just wanted to cry. But thank you so much for watching this episode. This one I feel like was a lot harder. I mean, it wasn't even harder. Like, I got through it. But I was a lot more open with this one than I was with my last one. And I feel bad. I'm hoping to revisit that again at some point, probably in like 6 months, just to, like as a check-in, just to see where I'm at. But for right now, we're just gonna leave it there. Like I said, like a lot of these first episodes are probably gonna be more of a, like just a starting off like where I'm at with everything, and then we'll kind of like see where it goes from there. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Please make sure you check out last week's episode. Please make sure you check out the other episodes, and hopefully I will get better at recording. I know in my description for my last week I put that I was going to do like every other week, but I think I'll just play it by ear and see how I feel. I know there's some weeks that are harder for me to film than others, so it's just really going to depend, but I'll try to do like either weekly or bi-weekly. And hopefully I stay up to date with the social medias. Now that I finished stressing about my test that I didn't study for, I have more time to just focus on this. But yeah, we'll see what happens. That being said, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.